Nothing says creativity than reaching for an item in your local grocery store, something that you've never seen before. Well, that's where Chef Jen comes in. Uncommon Common Foods. You find uncommon foods as you're walking through the grocery store and you say, hey, let's bring it to Kate and Phoenix and let's make it common.
Right. So if I find something that sparks my imagination or my curiosity, I grab it. I grab it and I learn a little bit more about it, and I end up whipping something up with it.
Do something.
Yeah.
As long as it's food.
As long as it's
grab
food.
the food.
Yeah.
leave the patrons alone.
That's right. That's right.
And-
you can't
and
just take them.
You go to a number of stores around Calgary as well, too.
Yeah, and quite often I'll go to a really far distance to find something very, very special. And not to say you have to, but it's certainly worth the trip and the adventure.
Are there a lot of unique stores?
There is.
in Calgary?
Calgary's a plethora of really good, all kinds of ethnicities and all kinds of really great stuff. So if you can find some things in your area, at least get familiar with that and then start venturing out a little bit more. Try some new recipes that are going to take you to different locations.
Look at you. That's why I love having you around here.
Yeah.
What are you playing with here?
I just grabbed this
What is
to play
that?
with.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So normally you eat food, but I try to think of food as something that can
play with.
Playful.
inspire you in so many ways and playful.
Kate, you almost whacked me on the head with that thing.
Well, I might just keep this.
You should. It'll be a great self-defense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When he starts to annoy me, I can just.
Ladies, let's stop it. Ouch. Okay, let's get to this. First of all, let's go with something that looks like green beans.
Looks like green beans, and that's what it is. It's a Chinese long bean or yard bean. So they can grow up to 3 feet in length. Now they're really tasty. You would typically eat them as you would a normal bean. You can pickle them, fry them, boil them, bake them, all that good stuff.
That's a long
really
bean.
neat.
They're good.
But you know, when I saw these, I thought about the kids, right? So when you take your kids into the grocery store, you know, some of those bigger chains have a lot more variety. They might find something like this,
That is
and it
tasty.
may be a little easier to get them to eat a Chinese long bean than it might be a regular bean.
Because they're more fun.
Well,
They're
are
more
fun.
fun.
You can get them to play with
You can
them while
tie
you're
them
cooking.
up.
Stop playing with your food.
I thought about Halloween with them, right? I tied them in this sort of little bundle here.
You're not suggesting
And,
you put this in a Halloween bag.
No,
'Cause
but
the
I
kids
think it'd be
are
a
gonna throw ace
fun,
into your house.
Yeah, I was
fun
gonna
in the
say.
dark sort of what is this? Yeah.
There you go.
Do you prepare? Oh, I see. Like this could be like
When you
Medusa's
play,
hair. or
did you
something.
ever
Right.
play that game? Yeah, where you had to stick your hand in.
Right, remember Jell-O and
guess what it
grapes?
was?
Or eyeballs.
Felt
Or
like
grapes.
eyeballs and yeah. So I thought of that when I.
So you would
When I saw
prepare
them.
these like you would any green bean.
You bet.
Boil them.
Yeah, you could pickle them, broil them, saute them.
Bacon and
Stir-fry them.
onions.
Oh, Kate.
That is how I
Rock
love
and
my
roll.
green beans.
Right, a little bit of almonds in there, lovely butter.
Nothing says loving like bacon.
Nothing says loving like bacon.
You can quote me on that one. So these are called. So they called green beans.
Yeah, it's a green bean, a Chinese long bean or a yard bean. Yeah.
Makes sense.
And they're not much different from any other green
They're
bean.
not.
No.
They're a little thinner, a little bit huskier, but they pick them
They are
before they're
tasty.
fully mature, so they don't get that sort of woody husk that you find in vegetables that have stuck around on the plant too long.
And I find they are a little bit more waxy tasting
Yeah,
than
they are.
The regular
Yeah,
green beans.
great
but
source of protein.
Could have been a dip.
Yeah, oh yeah, and they're fun.
So, speaking of fun, you've got me intrigued by these. These look like mushrooms.
They are mushrooms.
They are mushrooms.
They're king oyster mushrooms.
Okay, and they're king because they're so big.
They're king because they're enormous. I
smell
really
one?
like these. Absolutely.
As you ask us to always
As you know,
smell
I
them,
always
right?
bring in Phoenix and Kate friendly
Yeah.
items. There you go. Yeah, so that you can play with them. Now, they're really neutral in flavor, kind of creamy white in the middle.
you
I
smell
really
anything?
like these. Aren't they neat?
They smell like fresh air.
Which is not what you can normally say about mushrooms,
You
right?
can put this in your car.
Exactly.
You could put today's
Until it starts to rot.
produce
Do I
is,
look strange? Is this wrong? Does this look wrong? Is this
Yeah.
wrong?
Very wrong.
All right. But it smells interesting.
Smells interesting. So this is an excellent food item for vegetarians. It's nice because it's hearty. You can cut it into larger chunks. So if
Can I
you were
bite it?
making a chili, absolutely.
All right, wish me luck.
I'm not a fan of raw mushrooms myself, but it's not bad. Very, very, it's a little bit woody, but it's hearty. Yeah, raw mushrooms. They're
I don't
not
mind
delicious.
raw mushrooms. But
Really?
You're right. There is a different
You have a
texture
look
to
on
this.
your face.
Well,
it
no,
says
no, no,
different.
no. Let's be honest. It still tastes like a mushroom, but as you said, a woodier kind of.
Yeah. So these are nice. You can quarter them up and cut them into pieces, whatever size you so choose,
mind that.
whatever cooking method you're doing. You can also thinly slice them.
Yeah.
You can do a lot of really neat
Stir
things
fry.
with them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I was doing a little bit of learning about mushrooms, and for the home hobbyist, mushrooms are really neat because you can actually grow them in little jars at home.
No.
Yeah, you get a little bit of bark mulch, some moss, you get your spores. You can order all kinds of kits online, and you can grow neat things like that. How neat is that?
You don't like mushrooms, though, do you?
I I feel
She didn't have a
like
raw
every
bite.
time Jen comes on, I
Yes.
don't like things like bananas and mushrooms. I mean,
Come on, Gabe.
there's 3 things I don't like: bananas, mushrooms, and tomatoes. That's
Oh.
it.
And I keep bringing them.
Next week, bring in some tomatoes.
No tomatoes.
Next
No,
week,
we won't
it's
do that for you.
tomatoes.
Well, this is great. You have more for us,
I
yes?
do.
Okay, so the good news is Chef Jen will be sticking around for a little bit longer. By the way, you can follow her on our Twitter page at Chef Jen if you have any questions for her, or you'd like her to bring in some actually very uncommon foods, or you have questions about them as
Yeah,
well, too.
let me know.
So stick around for a few more minutes.
Will do.
That's great news. Chef Jen here with us. Here's what's happening, though, in and around our city. You're watching Trending on Shaw.